luckily this is just rehearsal, hey, and then tomorrow I'll get it right. Oh, hello. Hi. What are you doing here? What are they doing here? It's Friday. I have another day. I'm not ready. What day is it? Saturday. No, it's not Saturday. No, it's Friday. Is it really Saturday? Are you really here for the show? Right. Sorry, I thought it was Friday. Hold on, let me do this again. Hello, welcome to my lab. I think it's Saturday, apparently, and you're here for my show. I should really be rehearsing, but I guess we'll just do it. It's very smoggy in here. Can you still see me? Yes, okay. So, welcome to my lab. I've been running some experiments. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Nanogirl, and I would like to be a superhero. So, I thought I should probably have a superpower. But I wasn't sure which one, because Superman, he flies, and I thought that's kind of cool, but maybe useless. Maybe I should get a better one. So I've been thinking about superpowers, and then I thought, well, they're obviously just power, but super. And so then I got thinking about power, and I wasn't really sure what power was. So I thought, well, I can't really make a superpower until I know what power is. And so I hope you would help me do some experiments today on power, and maybe we can figure it out. So I got thinking about power, and I'm not really sure where to find power. So does anybody know where I might find some power? Oh, electricity! Power, right. Thank you, Boris. Electricity, the power of electricity. Now that sounds like a good power to have. Who wants to help me with this? I think I have a volunteer to help me with electricity. I can't see. I have some volunteers here who are helping me pick one. Oh, hello, you look like... Hi, come on up. Please help me with my electricity experiment. What is your name? Ruby, come on in. Welcome to the lab. Say hi to Ruby. So, Ruby, do you have any electricity in you? You're not sure? Well, I'm going to do something here. I'm going to give you this technical device. This is a balloon. And you see, electricity is just the flow of electrons. So what we're going to do is flow your electrons. And we're going to flow them by, I'm going to give you this device. This is a balloon. What we're going to do, so inside an atom, now we're all made up of atoms. Atoms are making up everything in here. Atoms have a nucleus in the middle with a proton, which is positive, and spinny electrons on the outside, which are negative. And it's those electrons that carry electricity. We're going to take your electrons and we're going to stick them to that balloon. You know how we're going to do it? We're going to rub it on your head. Off you go. Harder, faster. Keep going. Keep going. So as Ruby is doing this, she is transferring all the electrons from her hair to the balloon. I'll help you here. And so all those electrons are jumping onto the balloon. Now I have a balloon full of electrons, and Ruby's hair, as you can see, has just created a new fashion trend here. We'll call it the sticky up fashion trend. Ruby's hair is now just full of protons without the electrons, because the electrons have gone to the balloon, and so they're all positive, and opposites attract, but likes repel. So all her hair is trying to stay away from other hairs, because all of the electrons are now on the balloon. I'm going to make you keep your hair like that while we move on to the next experiment. So that's great, but transferring electricity to a balloon, this is static electricity, is not ideal. Can I get you to stand on that mat, please? So the next thing you can do is actually create electrons in your body. I'm going to make you scrape your feet like this. And while she does that, instead of rubbing her hair, she's now rubbing her feet on a mat. And what we are doing is transferring the electrons from the mat to Ruby's body. You are a mass of electrons ready to Earth somewhere. Boris? Good. You can stop that. Hold that charge. Now, you are full of electrons. I know you can't see them, but we all know that they're. Boris, could you just stand by Ruby for me, please? No, yeah, it's all good. A little bit closer. Thanks. Ruby, I want you to take your finger, because you're full of electrons, and I want you to touch Gareth. Thank you. That is how you transfer electricity, static electricity, from Ruby's amazing experiment to the Earth. Thank you very much, Ruby. Give her a round of applause. You hear that? What's that? What comes with thunder? Rain and lightning. So what is lightning? Lightning is also electricity. It's a bigger storm than I thought. Just like Ruby was able to take her static electricity, clouds are made from ice particles and water particles, and when they rub together, just like Ruby was rubbing her feet on the mat, they become charged. And they want to discharge on Earth on something else. And so if you live in Auckland, you may have seen lightning storms, and they tend to hit the tallest thing around because it's the closest, the sky tower. There's a rumor out there that lightning never hits things twice. I'm going to tell you the last storm we had, the Auckland sky tower was hit 19 times. So it does strike twice. And what you would hope is it doesn't strike you twice, because then you would be Rob Sullivan, who has the Guinness Book of Records for the person who has been hit the most by lightning, 7 times in his 70 years of being alive. He has no eyebrows, he's lost part of his hair, he has a severe scar on his back, and he currently holds the record for being the person being hit the most by lightning. Not a record that I want to even partake in. So lightning does hit more than once, and it can hit people, and you can survive, but not always. And lightning is exactly that. It is static electricity from the ice particles in the cloud rubbing together to create a charge, and then grounding to Earth. And so maybe my power is going to be the power of electricity through indoor lightning. Now, Nanogirl has been working really hard all day, and she has this amazing device. This is a Tesla coil. If you have a Tesla coil, you may want to give it to me, because I managed to break this afternoon. I'm really sorry. When I was practicing for you guys, I nearly electrocuted myself. So I'm sadly not being able to show you the lightning live. However, once I get it fixed, I will make a video of it. In the meantime, I'm going to show you how lightning is made with a Tesla coil. It takes voltage from inside our plug, 240 volts. It spins it around one coil. It then transfers those electrons to another coil, and when they meet at a resonant frequency, so the same jump, you can increase the voltage, and then you can create lightning indoors. The question is, why is a cloud white or dark gray? And it's all to do with how much water is inside. So dark gray clouds mean rain because they're full of water. But light, fluffy clouds have a very small amount of water in them and are probably not going to bring you rain. And light, fluffy clouds are caused by a change in pressure. So you evaporate water from where we are now at ground level, and as it goes into the sky, it gets colder, and those rain particles or those water particles condense so you can see them. Now, I like white, fluffy clouds, so I thought that we should make one. We're going to make a cloud together today. Hi, what is your name? Stella, come and help me. Have you ever made a cloud before? No. Have any of you made a cloud before? A few of you. Okay, we're going to do this together. Now, before we do that, I'm going to have to explain to you how clouds are made. So clouds are made by a change in pressure. We call it Bernoulli's principle. Okay, Stella, I'm going to put you in charge of this technical device. Do you know what this is? Hairdryer. Okay, think you manage this? You think you turn that on for me? Okay, it's definitely on. I want you to hold it up like this. We're going to turn the heat off because you don't need to burn yourself. I'm going to see if you can balance a ping pong ball in that stream of air. You ready? Now, ever so gently, start to tilt the hairdryer and see if you can keep it levitating. What about the other way? Stella, you're amazing at this. So Bernoulli's principle talks about how the speed of air controls its pressure. Air that's moving very, very fast is under low pressure. Air that is not moving fast is under high pressure. So all this air around Stella that isn't moving is under high pressure, and it's keeping the ping pong ball squeezed here. All the air that's moving really fast from the hairdryer is under low pressure, and so that's how this stays still. Thank you very much, Stella. Give her a round of applause. Well done. So Bernoulli's principle is how aeroplanes stay in the sky. How many times have you been on a plane and been like, I just don't understand how this massive piece of metal is flying? I know, right? It's Bernoulli's principle. So the wing of an aircraft is designed so that it goes really fast over the top of the wing, low pressure, really slow under the bottom of the wing, high pressure, and so it lifts, just like the ping pong ball levitates. It's the same thing while your plane stays in the sky. So that's how clouds are made. It's changes in pressure. If you talk to your weatherman, he'll say, oh, it's a high pressure day. No clouds are going to come on that day. If it's a low pressure day, lots of clouds. So for my next experiment, I'm going to need another helper. What is your name? Oscar or Austin? Oscar. Come on up, Oscar. Now, Oscar, we are going to give you two things. And I know that some members of the audience have these two things too. If you have them, can you stand up for me, please? The two things you're going to have are a bottle, and you guys can do this at home. And what's this? An air pump, bicycle pump. And this is going to produce pressure, right? Can you feel that air? Okay. I'm going to hold the bottle. You're going to hold the bike pump. And we're going to put that into the nozzle there. Okay, has everybody upstairs who's got one of these, if you've got one close to you, take a look at it. We're going to create a high pressure environment inside this bottle by pumping. So we're going to do this together 18 times. Are you ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, it's getting hard to pump, 18, and release. And there is your cloud. And you can squeeze it out. Thank you, Oscar, you can take that home. You should have seen one around you. What we did is we increased the pressure, which increases the temperature, and then we released it to low pressure, and that cools it down and causes the gas, the water, it's in a gas state, to condensate to a liquid, and that's all a cloud is. It's just water vapor condensating, made a cloud in a bottle. Pretty easy, pretty cool, something you can do it at home. Now that's cool, but I don't want the power of clouds. I don't think that's a very good superpower, be like, ha! Watch my cloud. It's not the same, right? So I think that we should take the theory of air pressure and air and see if we can turn it into some sort of superpower weapon, because that would be fun. So I'm going to need some volunteers. I'm going to need 2 people for this one. Okay, this is good. I like this. So for this net experiment, we are going to take air, we're going to put it under pressure, and we're going to see if we can knock some things over with it. Hello, what is your name?
I'm Richard.
Richard?
Hannah.
Richard and Hannah. Have you ever fired air before? As a weapon?
No.
Stay there. I'm going to hand you your weapons of choice. There's yours. And there's yours. Do you know what this is? This is an airzuka. And this is going to take air, and it's going to create a vortex. And I will tell you what a vortex is soon. It's the wrong way around. You're going to fire it yourself. You want to turn it that way. Thank you. We're going to put air in here. There's already air in there. And we're going to fire it out because there's a little bungee cord on the back with a plastic bag. And so it's going to fire. So do you want to just fire at your dad? Is this your dad? No, this is a random stranger. Do you know this man?
Yes.
Who is he?
He's my mum's boyfriend.
Okay, mum's boyfriend. I'm going to have you fire. So pull this back and see if you can get him. Did you feel that? We might need the sight up. Hold on. All right. Try again. Did you feel that? Yes. Right, thank you. Come back here. We're going to test your skills. We're going to do child against mum's boyfriend, Richard. Stand here. And Boris? Boris, are you busy? Oh, hi. Yeah, I need that cup, thanks. If you would just like to sit on the floor there for me. We're going to test your skills. You are the best out of 3. I want to see if you can fire this cup off Boris's head. Thanks, Boris. Okay, you ready? Go. Oh! One more go. That's it, get really close. Just get really close. Come closer. And like stand there, that's good. One more go, Richard. Nice. Thank you. So you can see the power of the air because it pushes a cup over, but you can't see anything because air is transparent. So we're going to let you see the force of what you just made. We're going to put particles into the air via something that I love, which is a smoke machine. Are you ready for this? We're going to put your ammunition in here. Now, while we're setting this up, we're going to have a competition of who can fire the furthest. So my volunteers are going to be the measuring sticks on the end. We're going to fill it in. And Hannah, we're going to fill your one in. Cool. I'm going to have you come over. Are you all right? Have we lost you? Oh, you know what? I'll stand you there. Richard, if I can have you stand on the other side. We want to see who can fire the furthest. Are you ready? Fire. Right at those people. Yeah, that's right. Fire. Woo. Richard, fire. All right, how far did we go, volunteers? We're back there. Fire again. And again. Oh, baby one. And again. Who's winning? Richard, fire again. Who's winning? I can't see. Hannah's winning. She is winning. You're right. Another one. Is this a fun game? Now, obviously, if this is a fun game, I want to play. So hold on a second. I'm just going to get my Azuka out. I didn't say we had to play fair, did I? So let's see how far this can go. I'm going to need both of your help here to hold this down. Can you both help me lean on here? Push this down as far as you can. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Let's let you guys have a go. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. So what you should be able to see, thank you very much, you can keep your Azukas if you want. What you should be able to see is what looks like a donut. So the vortex of air is coming out fast in the middle, but it's trapped here on the outside, so it has to go under that lip and out. And that causes the air to spin. And when air is spinning, it's very stable, and it creates this donut, or this torus shape, which you can see as a spinning wheel. And you know that spinning things are stable because when you throw a frisbee, you don't throw a frisbee like this. You throw a frisbee so it spins, because when it spins, it flies better, and when you spin the air, you have a stable air vortex. And that is the power of pressure. So all fun, but actually I want to understand air a little bit more. So how is it that that air can be so cool? Well, we have to think of what's in air. So what's in air? Oxygen. What else? Nitrogen, carbon dioxide, helium, you're right. Argon, all of those things. So what we're going to do is talk about how air is, yes, what was your one? A small amount of neon too, yes, very correct. So my next volunteer is going to help me with the experiment of understanding different gases. Hey there, what's your name? Oscar. Didn't we just have an Oscar? I like this. I like that you're all named the same. It makes my life easier. Come on up, Oscar. So Oscar, inside here is bicarbonate of soda, which you would have in your kitchen. And inside here is vinegar. Have you done this before? Okay, come with me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this onto here. And what do you think is going to happen? It'll expand. So I need you to help me. I'm going to hold the balloon down. Can you please tip the bicarb into the vinegar? And let's see what happens. It's blowing up the balloon. You're totally right. And it's blowing up the balloon because carbon dioxide reacts when you mix bicarbonate of soda and vinegar. You can all do this at home in your kitchen. Now, can you see how big that balloon is? Can you blow one up exactly the same size? Exactly. No, I'm kidding. Close enough. Okay. All right, can you tie it? I'm going to tie this one. So they both contain gas. This one contains carbon dioxide. Your one contains whatever's in your lungs right now, which has some carbon dioxide and some other stuff. Now, Oscar, I'm going to need you to help me do an experiment. And you guys at the front, you're my researchers, so you need to help me understand which one of these is heavier. I'm going to make you hold that one and that one. You're going to hold them on the end of the stage, and these lovely people here are going to tell me which one goes first. So hold it up. 3, 2, 1, drop. The green one, do we all agree? I need a unanimous decision. The green one, okay, so the green one is heavier. The carbon dioxide was heavier than what was in your lungs. Thank you very much for helping me with that, Oscar. So the question is, if gases weigh different amounts, then do they behave differently? Can I do different things with them? And I'm the type of girl who likes fire. So what I'm going to do now is trap gases inside a balloon and see what happens when I put a flame to them. We're going to start with the type of balloon that we blow up with just our mouth. So just a standard balloon. What do you think will happen if I put a flame underneath it? It'll pop, right? Okay. It will blow up. Now, if you don't like poppy sounds, you're going to have to put your hands over your ears. Can you show me that you can do that? Okay, if you do like poppy sounds, that's fine. I just hold that a sec. I don't like poppy sounds, so I'm going to put these big ear defenders on. So, first of all, I'm going to try and put the flame close to a balloon that we've just blown up with our mouths. Just what's in our lungs. 3, 2, 1. It wasn't too loud, right? But that's just the beginning. So now we're going to try a gas, and that gas is called hydrogen. And hydrogen is a very flammable gas. Thanks, Boris. And so if you don't like loud noises, please put your hands over your ears. Let's see what happens when we put fire on hydrogen. 3, 2, 1. But you know me. We're not done yet. So that was hydrogen. I'm now going to mix hydrogen with a little bit of air. And the hydrogen is going to help what's in the air combust. And so this is hydrogen mixed with air. So, hydrogen, air, 3, 2, 1. But there's more. Because if you combine hydrogen and oxygen in the right concentrations, you might want to put your hands over your ears for this one. But if you take two types of gases and you mix them very well, you get 3, 2, 1. And that is the power of gas. So, the question is, what would I do with that power? Because it's all fun and games to set fire to different balloons, but that's not going to get me anywhere. I want to take flammable gases and actually do something useful with them. So what do people do? Who said spaceship? Did you say spaceship then? More explosions. Well, I think that I might need to think of a way to contain that energy and do something useful with it. And so maybe I could make a space rocket. Because every girl needs a space rocket. Hold on. Hello? Oh, Peter Beck, how are you? I hear that you're the rocket man. I thought that maybe you could build me something. Yeah, I need a space rocket. I heard that you have a lab in South Auckland. Yeah. How much would it cost? $10? Oh, $10 million. Hold on. Do we have $10 million? Right. What about a smaller rocket? Still $10 million. That is the small one. Okay. I'll call you back. Thanks very much. Do you know, I might not have quite enough for the space rocket I want to build, but I reckon I've got enough for some type of rocket. So I still think we should try the power of gas in a rocket. But these types of rockets are a little bit smaller. Aim it right there, yeah. So these types of rockets are made very simply. You drink the fizzy liquid that was in there, and then you fill the bottle with some water and some hydrogen. So hydrogen was in all of those balloons, and you saw what happens when you put hydrogen and fire together. We're going to pour the water out of these bottles, and what happens is the amount of water that's in there is going to be displaced and exchanged by air. So I want a mix of air and hydrogen in my rockets. And if this all goes to plan, these rockets will fly. If it doesn't, my hand catches fire. So I'm hoping it goes in your direction, not mine. Now, for this experiment, I need you all to actually be very safe. And so there are two things that you can do with this experiment. Number one, can you please practice the brace position? It is also known as the duck position. That'll be because something may fly at your head, looking like one of these rockets. I'm very sorry. Secondly, if you're a bit more confident, can you please do the catch position? Because if you do see a rocket coming at your head, catch it. If you don't, it's going to hit you. So one of two options. We're either going to learn the brace and the duck or the catch, whichever you want. But there will be rockets most likely firing at your head for this experiment, just to give you a warning. So what we're doing is we're pouring out the water, and now we're going to wait for the air to go into these rockets. I'm going to put a little bit of safety gear on here because I don't feel very safe. I'm going to protect my hands with a glove. I'm going to protect my eyes with some safety goggles. And you guys are going to protect yourselves by just ducking. power of gas works, these rockets will propel to you. The thing with science is there's only one way to find out, and that's to carry out experiments. This is an experiment. Yeah, those guys there, yeah. Are you ready for launch? 3, 2, 1. Want another one? 3, 2, 1. And again. Go. Let's do that. Sure, why not? How dangerous can it be? Ready? And that is the power of hydrogen gas. Now that's fun, but I can't sit on one of those. I'm a little bit too big. So I really want to propel myself on something that perhaps has wheels rather than wings. And so what I really need to find is some wheels. Does anybody know where any wheels are? Behind me, this thing, this is just an old supermarket trolley. Do you think I could use that? Well, I'm gonna need some sort of gas though. So I need a gas that I can propel myself in. Does anybody know where I'll find a gas? Oh yeah, okay. So this is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide you find in fire extinguishers. And actually they're compressed. So they're not only a gas that is not very flammable, you use them to put out fires because they actually smother a fire so it doesn't get any oxygen. And fires need oxygen to breathe. And so I guess the theory we need to test is if I can fire hydrogen rockets at you, can I fire carbon dioxide gas canisters to propel a supermarket trolley? Because that seems like a really smart idea. And what sort of power will it give me? And will it give me a functional vehicle that I could drive to the shops in? Maybe. There's only one way to test this, and that's with science. And what we do in science is we experiment. Please don't do this at home, kids. The last thing I want is the New Zealand Herald having an article tomorrow about how there are no fire extinguishers left and Pack and Save has lost all its trolleys. So, we're going to try this. Do not do this at home. This is not sensible. There are no brakes on this vehicle. There is also no steering, and there's pretty much no control. How's it looking? Right. So, let's have a look at this. I'm going to need to arm myself with some protection here. We're going to start with a hard hat, because I need my head, and some safety glasses, and a whole bunch of confidence. It's going to get pretty loud. I'm going to put some ear protectors on. If you don't like loud sounds, please put your hands over your ears, and I'm going to protect my hands with my gloves. Let me see if I can get into this thing. All right, here we go. Nanogirl's vehicle of choice. Wait. I'm not feeling very safe. No, Boris, I feel like I need a bit more protection. Do you have anything that might, like, cushion my fall? No, I just feel like it's quite dangerous. Oh yeah, bubble wrap will do, bubble wrap, all right. Thanks. I feel much safer now. Right, so now I'm fully protected. Thanks, Boris. I guess there's only one way to test science. And that's to launch my new vehicle. I'm going to need a countdown. of transport, really. Also quite unpredictable and not ideal for my stilettos, I don't think. So with every science experiment, it's worth trying it and making a decision. I'm not convinced that's my form of transport, but it was jolly good fun trying. So I guess, really, what would you use fire extinguishers for? Putting out fires, right? Putting out fires. That sounds like a very smart thing to do. So the thing is, we're in the town hall, and this is a heritage building. So there's no chance that we'll have a fire in here, because they'd probably throw us out. But if we were to have a fire, you would want... Boris. It's a heritage building. No, it's... I'll just leave that there. Well, seeing you've lit a fire, I guess we should talk about the power of fire. So fire is very hot, and it needs 3 things to be able to survive. We call this the fire triangle. It needs heat, it needs fuel, and it needs oxygen. We have oxygen in the air. It has a heat source, and the fuel is a little cotton bud inside there that is currently on fire. I can put out this fire by removing one of those 3 things in the triangle. And I'm going to remove the easiest one, which is oxygen. So I'm going to starve it of oxygen with my clipboard. And now there's no more fire. And fire burns yellow. But it burns yellow because the cotton bud burns yellow because it has lots of carbon in there. I can change the color of the fire using chemicals. Here we have a blue chemical, copper sulfate. Is that too much? Nah, it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. I don't know if you're lighting it. It's blue in the box, but when we set fire to it, we should see that it burns a different color. And the color it's going to burn is green. The reason being is that blue is copper. But those electrons we saw spinning around, if you heat them up enough, they go from that electron shell to the next electron shell until they get so hot that they raise up and they cool back down. And in doing that, those electrons move down a shell and they release what's called a photon. And the photon is the green color that you see. So if you look very carefully, we should see some green. I can see some green. Can you see a little bit of green? You see green? We'll let it burn a little bit longer. And if you have very good eyes, you might be able to see some of the copper sulfate burning green. So this is good, but this isn't really a superpower. I can spin it, but the fire stays the same. The reason why the fire stays the same is because the air around it isn't spinning. If I want to make a fire vortex, like we made the air vortex, I'm going to need to make the air spin. And so we're going to do that using mosquito net. If you have a screen door at home, I'm sorry if you're missing this piece. We needed it for science. But basically, this is just metal mesh that you find on your screen doors to keep the mosquitoes out. It allows air to pass through because it's got holes, but what it does is when I start spinning it, it creates air that spins on the inside. And what you should see once I start to spin is the fire behaves very differently. And now we have a fire tornado. The fire is becoming a vortex because the air is having to force to spin around because when it comes in through the mesh, it's already spinning. But the center air is very stationary because it's hot and it rises. And so now I have the power of fire. That was pretty fun? You want more fire? Me too. So the thing is, I don't think I could put the fire vortex in my handbag. So it's probably not that good a superpower for me. So I think I'm going to have a different one using fire. And to do this, I'm going to need another volunteer. Can I have another volunteer, please? Now, I need a volunteer who's got really good ninja skills, really good hand-eye coordination, and can hold a jolly big stick. Hi. What's your name? I missed that. What was it? Neve? Yeah. Okay, Neve, do you have good ninja skills? Yeah. Are you confident? If you get this wrong, you set me on fire. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so I need you to stand over there, and we're going to do a little bit of training, because I need confidence that you're not going to set me on fire. Here we go. Take this stick. It's quite heavy. It's metal. So the goal is you're going to hold it up, and it is going to be on fire eventually, but I'm going to make you practice it without the fire first. And I would like you to bring the stick down so that it almost touches my hand, so maybe 2 centimeters off. Can you do that? Good. Now, can you do that at double speed? Because that's going to be on fire. Okay, can you do that at quadruple speed? That's going to be on fire, and I may be on fire, just saying. Okay, practice a few more times. I just need a little bit more practice. I'm getting there, okay, and again. Are you feeling confident? Are you guys feeling confident? Let's go again. One more. Okay, you think you do it? Can you get it a little bit closer, but not on my hand so I don't set on fire? Okay. You want to practice that for a little bit, just practice that swinging motion. In here, I have a bucket of water with just washing up liquid in there, so the stuff that you do your dishes with. And Boris is bubbling in a gas. And so we're making bubbles, but the gas he's bubbling in is methane. And methane is found all over the place. It's a common gas that you find... Boris. Oh, who was it? The cow walking by? Yeah. Methane is found in many different places. And it's a highly flammable gas. And so... there's only one way to find out whether or not these things are flammable enough that they burn the bubbles before they burn me. And that's to do this. All right, here we go. Neve, are you ready for the responsibility of setting me possibly on fire? Have you got the skills? Are you guys ready? Whenever you're ready. Do it again? Want to do it again? Do you want to do it again? I was like, do you want to do it again? She's like, yeah. Want to do it again? All right, we can do it again. So, that was pretty good. Are you confident in that? Do you want to go faster next time? Yeah? No, she's like, no. I don't want to burn you. So we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to bubble methane into these washing up liquid bubbles. And hopefully, they burn before I burn. That's the theory. With a highly flammable glass, that's quite likely. But it always makes me nervous. But I trust in my science, and so I'm willing to put myself at risk for this. I think that's enough bubbles. Okay. I'll hand you the fire. I'll go collect some bubbles. Are you guys ready? Yes. All right, here we go. I'll get as many bubbles as I possibly can. And Neve, whenever you're ready. Thank you. And that is the power of fire. Oh, it's getting hot in here. Do you know what? That was a lot of fire today, and I think I'm ready for the opposite of fire. What's the opposite of fire? What's colder than water? I really could do with some ice right now. And so I wondered if ice was actually a power. And there's only one way to test that in science, and that's to find some ice. Oh, look, there's a bucket of ice. Thanks. So ice is nice and cold. If you've been holding fire for a little bit, it's quite nice to have some ice on your hand. But ice cools things down. And ice, as we know it, that lives in our freezer is between -2 and -10 degrees C. But as scientists make things much, much colder. So if you've ever had the problem at home in that you've got your favorite jar of jam and you just can't open it. How many of you had that problem before? And you squeeze, I know, right? And all you want is the jam. It's probably because the lid's too cold. So I can open that, but as I put it into a bucket of ice, what happens is those atoms that we talked about get closer together. They get closer together because they're cold and they want to get closer to each other. But that makes the atoms get closer, and so the metal lid gets smaller. And when things get smaller, they get tighter. And so if you hold a metal lid, either in your fridge, if you've got your jam in a fridge, or in a bucket of ice, it actually becomes very tight. Hey, Boris, can you open this for me, please? No, I didn't think so, thanks. Why can't I open it? Because I put it in the bucket of ice. The atoms are closer together. It's really tight. So if you can't get into your jam jar, science will solve this problem by telling you to warm up the lid. The easiest way to do that is run it under a hot tap for a couple of minutes, and it will expand those atoms further away from each other. I'm just going to blow on it, just to warm it. That's all I've got. And now you have the superpower of opening your jam. It's all about the temperature. So ice is kind of fun. I like ice, but what I like more is playing with something called liquid nitrogen. So ice is about -5 degrees. Liquid nitrogen is about -171 degrees, so a little bit colder. You may see liquid nitrogen at your doctor's. If you have a wart or a verruca or something equally nasty, your doctor will take liquid nitrogen and put it on the thing that needs to be removed. It will burn the skin cells, and eventually it'll fall off. Because liquid nitrogen is really dangerous. I mean, really dangerous. You never want to get it onto your skin unless you're trying to peel that bit off. And you actually never want to go anywhere near it, because it'll burn you. If you put your finger in it, it would just burn your finger off, and that would be the end of your finger. You would never want that. It would burn your skin. It's worse than fire. So I want you to be very careful when I have liquid nitrogen out, because actually you may hurt yourself. And if you ever put your finger into liquid nitrogen, it will fall off. Boris, what are you doing? What did I just say? You know what's going to happen? It's going to fall off. It's doomed. It's going to freeze, it's going to shatter, and you'll have no finger. I don't know why I have you around here sometimes. You're such a liability. What are you going to do? So don't ever do this at home. Boris! Come here. Let me see. I know. What are you, an idiot? Did you do that? Put it in the nanobot box. They'll rebuild you. Hold on. Wait. It'll rebuild. Don't ever stick your finger in liquid nitrogen unless you have rebuilding nanobots available to you. Now just be very careful with they're my final nanobots. I don't know what to do with him sometimes. He's such a liability. Sometimes I feel like everything is going to be a disaster because Boris is just being a liability. Boris, is that for me? That's quite nice. Hey, it's quite bendy. It's what we call ductile. But you know what I think about your flower? I think it'd be much better if we gave it a bit of a swim. Because flowers don't fix everything, Boris. Come here. And that is the power of freezing. So you go from things soft and bendy to glassy and brittle, and it shatters like that. So making things cold is sort of a good superpower. Boris, did you put your lunch in the experiment? Did you just put your lunch in there? What are the rules on eating in the lab? So first of all, you put your well, I don't know what you're going to do with that. What are you going to do with that? Yeah, no, that's not going to be very tasty at all. Please don't bring your lunch to the experiment next time. Thanks very much. So freezing things is kind of cool It might not be that great a superpower, but I know what is. So we've learned about pressure. We've learned about gas. We've learned how you can change things from a liquid to a gas by changing the temperature. Liquid nitrogen at minus 170 is liquid. If I heat it up to room temperature, it's a gas. Gases take up way more volume than liquids. They want to expand. We're going to do an experiment now that shows you the power of expansion. We're going to put liquid nitrogen into a bottle, and we're going to seal it. The liquid nitrogen is going to get warm, and it's going to want to expand. It can't expand because it's trapped in a bottle. We're going to see what happens. This may be the loudest bang you have ever heard in your life. I'm going to give you a couple of safety calls here. Number one, if you don't like loud bangs, please put your fingers over your ears. Number two, if you are sitting on the front row, I cannot guarantee what's going to happen. Duck, all of those things. You've gone through the maneuvers. Duck, you might want to step back. I don't know how safe you're feeling. No, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. If you're sitting at the back, this is the time to get out your video recorders, because you will never have seen an explosion like this. If you have very, very small children who might be frightened, I'm going to just ask you to take special care of them now. You might want to put double ears on. So what we're going to do is we're going to pour liquid nitrogen. We're going to pour liquid nitrogen into a bottle. And we're going to trap it. It's going to expand. And hopefully, it's going to break the bottle in a way that you would never have seen before. Are you ready? Yeah, okay, here we go. First of all, we start with the liquid nitrogen. Next, we're going to take the lid Are you ready? And now we wait. Take a seat. We've got one more experiment to show you. You can come back and get the ping pong balls in a second. It's probably freezing cold. One more. If you caught a ping pong ball, you get to keep it. I just need you to back up for one more minute. So the power of a gas, the power of pressure, the power of making a cloud, the power of explosions. There's a lot of power out there, and they're all pretty super. And so thank you for helping me on my journey of discovering powers and discovering how they might become my superpower. Before I leave you, I would like to just do one more experiment. And I think we've got some liquid nitrogen left. So I'm going to pour some in here. I'm going to ask the cameraman to stand back a little bit more than he is. All right, so it's pretty cold in there. And I'm going to add the opposite of cold. been nice knowing you. Are you ready? And that is the power of science. Thank you.